The door slammed behind Arjun, the sound echoing like a gunshot in the quiet night. At 22, he stood on the porch of his childhood home, clutching a battered suitcase. His parents' words still stung, "You're a failure, Arjun. Get out and don't come back." His father's face, twisted with disappointment, and his mother's silence hurt worse than any insult. They'd given him an hour to pack, tired of his wasted potential after he dropped out of college to pursue music. The suitcase held a few clothes, his guitar, and a crumpled lottery ticket he'd bought on a whim at a gas station. Arjun shivered in the chilly dawn, his breath visible under the streetlights. He had $12 in his pocket, no plan, and nowhere to go. But as he walked toward the city's edge, a strange calm settled over him. This wasn't the end, it was a beginning. He'd prove them wrong, not out of spite, but for himself. At a 24-hour diner, he ordered a coffee, spreading the lottery ticket flat on the counter. The numbers 7, 14, 23, 28, 35, 42 felt like a secret code to a new life. He didn't know why, but he held on to it. As dawn broke, Arjun checked his phone. The lottery results were in. His heart stopped as he read 7, 14, 23, 28, 35, 42. Jackpot, $50 million. He blinked, thinking it was a mistake. He checked again, hands shaking. It was real. By sunrise, Arjun wasn't just homeless, he was rich beyond his wildest dreams. But this wasn't just about money. It was about what he'd do with it. He vowed to build a life that would make his parents' rejection a footnote, not a defining moment. Arjun didn't scream or celebrate. He sat in the diner, staring at the ticket, his coffee cold. The waitress, a kind woman named Rita, noticed his shock. "You okay, kid?" she asked. Arjun managed a nod, slipping the ticket into his pocket. He needed to think. He checked into a cheap motel, his mind racing. The money was life-changing, but he wasn't naive. He'd heard stories of lottery winners who lost everything, bad investments, greedy friends, reckless spending. Arjun wouldn't be one of them. He contacted a lawyer recommended by Rita's cousin, a no-nonsense woman named Priya who specialized in windfalls. "Claim it quietly," she advised. "And don't tell anyone yet." Arjun followed her lead, verifying the ticket through a discreet process. By week's end, $50 million, minus taxes, sat in a secure account. Arjun felt the weight of possibility and responsibility. He wasn't just a kid with a guitar anymore. He was a man with a future to shape. Arjun moved to a modest apartment, keeping his windfall secret. He spent days researching, learning about investments, philanthropy, and music production. His parents' voices echoed, failure, useless, but he pushed them aside. He'd always loved music, not just playing it but creating it. With this money, he could build something real. He sketched a plan, a music studio, not just for himself, but for struggling artists like he'd been. The idea lit a fire in him. This was his chance to turn pain into purpose. Arjun leased a rundown warehouse in the city's arts district. It was a risk, but the bones were solid, perfect for a recording studio. He hired a contractor, pouring $2 million into renovations, soundproof rooms, top-tier equipment, and a cozy lounge for artists to collaborate. He named it Dawn Studios, a nod to the morning his life changed. Arjun didn't just want a business, he wanted a community. He offered free recording time to talented musicians who couldn't afford studio rates, remembering his own days of scraping by. Word spread. Local artists flocked to Dawn, drawn by Arjun's vision and generosity. He hired a small team, producers, engineers, and a manager named Zara who shared his passion. Arjun worked alongside them, learning the business while refining his own music. His first single, a soulful ballad about resilience, went viral on social media. Fans didn't know about his millions, they just loved his sound. Arjun smiled, strumming his guitar. This was what freedom felt like. His parents hadn't reached out. He didn't expect them to. But rumors of Dawn Studios reached their small town, and Arjun heard through a cousin that his father had scoffed, calling it a fluke. The words stung, but they also fueled him. He wasn't building this for their approval. He was building it for himself, and for every dreamer who'd been told they weren't enough. Dawn Studios became a hub for creativity. A young rapper, Lila, recorded her debut album there, and it hit the charts, crediting Arjun's mentorship. Other artists followed, their success amplifying Dawn's reputation. Arjun invested another $5 million, expanding the studio with a live performance space and a mentorship program. He partnered with schools, offering workshops for kids who dreamed of music but lacked resources. Every step felt like a rebellion against the suitcase and the slammed door. Arjun's own music gained traction. His second single, Dawn, climbed streaming platforms, its lyrics raw and hopeful. Fans clamored for more, and he started performing at small venues, his stage presence electric. The boy who'd been kicked out was now a rising star. But Arjun stayed grounded, living modestly despite his wealth. He donated to local shelters, remembering his night on the street. The money wasn't his identity, it was his tool. One evening, a music exec offered to sign him. Arjun hesitated. He loved performing but didn't want to lose control of Dawn. After negotiating, he signed a deal that let him stay independent while growing his reach. His first album, Suitcase Dreams, dropped to critical acclaim, selling out shows across the country. Arjun stood on stage, guitar in hand, and felt the crowd's energy. This was his victory. Whispers about Arjun's wealth began to surface. A local blogger spotted his name on a lottery winner's list, and the story exploded. Homeless musician wins $50 million, builds music empire. Arjun didn't confirm or deny it. He let Dawn's success speak for itself. But the attention brought challenges. Opportunists knocked, distant relatives, old classmates, even scam artists. Arjun leaned on Priya, who set up trusts to protect his wealth. He stayed focused, pouring energy into Dawn and his music. His parents' silence broke. His mother called, her voice hesitant. "Arjun, we heard about the lottery." He listened, his heart guarded. She apologized, citing stress and misunderstandings. His father didn't call. Arjun didn't need their words, he'd moved on. But the call stirred something. He invited them to Dawn's grand opening, a test of their sincerity. They didn't show. Arjun shrugged, unsurprised. His real family was the team and artists around him. Dawn's opening was a triumph. Hundreds attended, including industry giants. Lila performed, dedicating her set to Arjun. The night felt like a dream, but it was real, built from his vision, not just his money. Arjun knew this was just the start. Dawn Studios grew into a brand. Arjun opened a second location in another city, replicating the model: affordable recording, mentorship, and community. His wealth funded the expansion, but his passion drove it. He hired more staff, including an outreach coordinator to connect with underserved youth. Dawn became a beacon for dreamers, its logo a symbol of hope. Arjun's music career soared. His second album, Open Road, topped charts, blending folk, hip-hop, and soul. He toured internationally, selling out arenas. Fans chanted his name, but he never forgot the suitcase. He donated a chunk of his earnings to homelessness charities, funding shelters and job programs. "I was there once," he told a reporter. "No one should feel that alone." His parents reached out again, this time with his father on the line. They wanted to reconnect. Arjun met them, curious but firm. Their apologies felt hollow, tied to his success. He forgave them for his own peace, but kept boundaries. Dawn was his legacy, not theirs. A rival studio, backed by a corporate giant, tried to poach Dawn's artists with flashy deals. Arjun fought back, not with money, but with loyalty. He hosted a summit for his artists, listening to their needs and offering equity in Dawn's future projects. Most stayed, trusting his vision. The rivals' campaign fizzled, and Dawn's reputation grew stronger. Arjun faced personal challenges too. Fame brought pressure, and he struggled with imposter syndrome. Was he just a lucky kid with a ticket? Zara, his manager, reminded him, "You didn't just win money. You built this." Her words grounded him. He started therapy, learning to embrace his worth beyond the lottery. Don's third location opened, this time with a music school attached. Arjun taught classes himself, sharing his journey with kids who reminded him of his younger self. The boy who'd been called a failure was now a mentor, a star, a builder of dreams. Arjun's story caught global attention. A documentary, The Dawn of Dreams, chronicled his rise, winning awards at film festivals. He was named to Forbes 30 Under 30, not for the lottery, but for Don's impact. Invitations poured in, keynotes, panels, charity galas. Arjun accepted some, but always returned to the studio. That was home. He wrote a book, Suitcase to Stage, sharing his journey without bitterness. It became a bestseller, inspiring readers to chase their dreams despite setbacks. Arjun didn't mention his parents much, focusing on resilience and community. Fans sent letters, thanking him for showing them what was possible. One night, an old friend from his hometown visited. "Your parents talk about you now," she said. "They're proud." Arjun nodded, unmoved. Their pride came too late. His real pride was in the artists he'd lifted, the kids he'd taught, the empire he'd built. Dawn Studios expanded to 5 cities, with a valuation of $100 million. Arjun's wealth grew, but he lived simply, investing in his mission. His foundation funded music programs worldwide, reaching millions. He partnered with NGOs, ensuring access for underserved communities. Dawn wasn't just a business, it was a movement. Arjun's third album, Skyward, won a Grammy. He dedicated it to everyone who's ever been kicked out, counted out, or told they're not enough. The crowd roared, and Arjun felt complete. The suitcase was a memory, not a weight. He'd turned rejection into revolution. He reconnected with his parents sparingly, meeting for coffee once a year. They tried to claim credit, but Arjun redirected the conversation. His legacy wasn't theirs to share. His true family was the community he'd built, the lives he'd changed. At Dawn's 10th anniversary, Arjun hosted a global festival, streaming live to millions. Artists from every studio performed, showcasing the talent he'd nurtured. Arjun took the stage last, guitar in hand, and sang a new song, From Nothing. The lyrics told his story, eviction, lottery, triumph. The crowd sang along, their voices a testament to his impact. As fireworks lit the sky, Arjun looked out at the sea of faces. He'd been kicked out with a suitcase, but fate had given him a chance, and he'd seized it. Dawn wasn't just his victory, it was a beacon for anyone who'd ever been discarded. By dawn, he wasn't just rich, he was unstoppable.